What is going on, guys? Welcome back to King Fab and Off-Road. Today I'm in the shop addressing a few issues on Goldy, the 1-ton Tacoma. Today we got hooked up with Amazon for some pass-through connectors so I can run my e-locker wires through my non-e-locker housing. Barnes four-wheel drive come through with a nice truss we're gonna throw on the rear end while we're in there. As well as relocation, supposed to be shock brackets, but these are technically going to be used as coilover brackets to lift up a little bit for the axle. I'm sorry, for the coilover, just to get a little bit more height on the front of this dude. Also, we got some brake line tabs I've been putting off that need to be put on the front of this thing so my brake lines aren't running around in circles. Got some clevis ends to weld onto my front bumpers, and then a couple more that we're gonna utilize for the rear when I build that bumper. And then rough stuff came through with some limit straps for this dude because I've been driving around for a year without them. So there we go. In this video we're gonna be focusing on the front end of the truck. I'm pretty anxious to get the front end raised just a little. This thing does really good the way it is. There are two reasons mainly that I am gonna be relocating the coilovers up on the axle. You can't really see here, probably horribly, but these are mounted to the stock shock location on a Super Duty axle, which is great with the WFO Concepts kit because it makes it pretty simple. I mean, I didn't have to do anything to the lower mount, and then on the front I just put their coil tower there and I was able to use this. The only downfall is if you're using these, it sets a 12-inch coilover just a little bit too low in my opinion, and it needs to swing up on the axle just a little bit. So we're going to be taking this from where it's at and just moving it up a couple inches, actually probably really about 1.5 inches from what I'm measuring, just to get a little more lift on the truck. And I'm going to end up with 1 inch or 2 in the front just to help with everything and clearances, and actually pushing the coilover out a little away from the radius arms as well. But let me get this thing lifted up. I'm going to pull the wheels and tires off here on the front, get it lifted up, and then I'll show you guys kind of my idea of what I'm trying to do here with it. Alright, so this is what we got on the coilover. This is a factory Super Duty mount off of an 06. That's what this axle is. 06 F250. Okay, if you look here at the bigger picture, it's hard to see because the axle's drooped and everything, but how I have these towers welded in, my coilover is actually at a slight degree, a couple degrees kicked backwards. These are from Barnes. They're meant to be shock brackets, but I think with enough gusseting and good welding, we're gonna cut all this old crap off here, stick these on there. We're gonna suck them in a little bit, fix our angles, and we're also gonna raise them about 1 inch, 1.5 inches. Also, while we are at it, been neglecting these guys for a while. I'm thinking about putting some straps somewhere in the vicinity of there. To explain further what I did with the axle brackets, this is what I had before, which had it about centered in the axle. I now have this bracket. It's going to go somewhat like that and raise the center line roughly 1 inch. This is the finished product with it on the axle. Kind of got to thinking it'd probably be best to have some sort of a A little bit of a truss there just to hold it up. I mean, it is holding up the whole weight of the truck, so that's what it looks like. Gonna throw some paint on it. And this is what they look like installed. We're about an inch taller, a little straighter. Like it. Mounts are in. Now I'm fitting my limit straps. Limit straps are kind of funny because you can put them anywhere, of course, but I've got a couple inches to spare on droop, and this seemed like a good place, so that's where they're at. Let's get some paint on them and finish this up. Here's the finished product, guys. Got the straps in, got the mounts in, about an inch taller. Can't see it now, but I'll get a picture and a video here in a second of what it looks like. Alright guys, got the truck all wrapped up tonight. This was about 4 or 5 hours worth of work altogether, although it doesn't show in the video. But I'm really happy with how everything turned out. Now I got the limit straps put on as well. I've been putting that off for a long time, and it needed done bad because I've been drooping this thing out in the rocks, and relying on those coilovers is a horrible idea. Everyone knows, I know. Shame on me for a year now, but they're done as well. So in the last couple videos here, we've got coilovers remounted, we've got limit straps put on, and bump stops, so I'm good to go for a while on the front. In the videos to come, I've got truss to put on my rear axle. I need to box the rear frame of this thing just to make it a little stouter. And then we're going to be installing that rear E-locker into the non-E-locker housing. I'm going to try and be as informational as I can be on that and show a beginning, middle, and end of taking my old carrier out, putting the E-locker in, drilling the hole for the wires, putting a pass-through in there, and maybe even going as far as running the wires to the front. So that way anyone wanting to do this can have an idea what it takes to get it done. So I'm really excited to keep these videos coming, and hope everyone enjoyed this. See you next time.